Let me just be honest for a second. I need a fucking K in my life. Hi guys. By the way, don't ask me why I'm wearing a shower cap. I'm just kinda too lazy to fix my bed hair, so I found something to cover it. But we're gonna be making a tier list of all of the characters from Classroom of the Elite. A few weeks ago, I actually made a video on my thoughts for the first 3 episodes of Classroom of the Elite. That's when I first checked it out, and for anyone that's interested, I'll leave the link of that in the description. But yeah, after I finished the anime, I decided to check out the manga and see how far they got into it. But unfortunately, the manga stops at the Zodiac exam, I think, like midway through it. The last option I had was to read the light novel, and that was actually my first time reading a light novel, and I ended up finishing in a week. And I honestly can't even describe how much I fucking like this shit. But yeah, I also might make a video on my thoughts of the light novel, why I like it so much, just me talking about it for a bit. So, you know, if anyone's interested in that, feel free to leave a comment about it. But like always, I always talk too much in the intro. Let's just head into the video now. This thing's making my fucking hair sweat. It's actually my first time wearing something like this. What the fuck? Oh, by the way, I kinda got rid of like the characters I didn't really have too much to talk about, and that's because I don't have too much to talk about. Yeah. These are a mix of side characters that's only like appeared in the story once or twice, with some of the newer students, and there's also a mix of like teachers and just other co-workers with other schools. Please don't kill me because we're all humans, we all think differently. Yeah, please don't hate on me. But yeah, let me just quickly explain what every tier means to me. S tier. If you're on S tier, that basically means you're a really important character to the story. You've probably affected it a lot, and you're just overall a very fucking good character. Probably one of my favorite characters from this light novel, or just in any anime related things. Like if you're an S tier for me, you probably had a certain part of the story just dedicated to you. It might be an exam, it might be, you know, just a side story, anything like that. Actually, let me just explain the tiers as I go through the list. But you know, the first character we have up is Ayane Koji. Kiyotaka Ayane Koji. He's an automatic S tier. Like, I don't think anyone that likes Classroom of the Elite wouldn't put him as tier. Ayane Koji is the protagonist of Classroom of the Elite, and honestly, he might be one of the most interesting protagonists I've ever seen. Honestly, he might be up there with like some of my favorite protagonists, such as Hikigaya Hachime, Kazuma, and Araragi. His character is just really interesting. He's the one that like continues the story in many different ways, and his way of thinking, everything behind this character is fucking brilliant in my opinion. Like anytime Ayane Koji does something, I'm just like, wait, how the fuck did the writer even think up of something like that? But yeah, Ayane Koji is an amazing fucking character. I do like the Ayane Koji and the light novel more than the one in the anime, because the one in the anime, they kind of just make him seem like he doesn't even seem like a human anymore in the anime. Like his eyes are always gonna show, he's always talking like a really fucking low and also very straight voice. But there's certain scenes in the manga and the light novel where he actually shows a decent amount of like emotions and expressions. Yeah, although he kind of is a cold-blooded killing machine, we do see his character develop a lot. He's a lot more human now. That's all I can say. But yeah, I'm also trying not to like talk too much about specific characters because like I said before, I am planning to make a whole video just talk about the light novel. The next 4 characters are all in the Ayane Koji group, which is a fan group that who made Haruka made with Ayane Koji in it, because he's the name of the group, so he should be in it. In my opinion, all 4 of these characters are the perfect definition of B tier, because all 4 of them are side characters that's gotten their time to shine and affected the story in some pretty positive or negative ways. Yukima is one of the most intelligent members from Class D, and the whole reason this fan group was even formed was because Harika and what's his name? Akito, like they needed help studying, and you know, Yukima was like the leader of that group, and Aili eventually joined them as well. Yeah, like I said before, they all had the time to shine, and the film group kind of started dying down ever since some of the incidents that Ayane Koji's been going through. I'm talking about the part where Ayane Koji got 100 on that one like fucking crazy ass math test, and Yukima was like, wait, how the fuck did you do that? Yukima was unhappy about like how Ayane Koji is hiding so many things from them, like hiding his abilities, hiding just how powerful he is overall. By the way, I forgot to mention this, but there's gonna be a lot of spoilers from the light novel in this video. Because of the way Yukimura and the Ayane Koji group reacted to just him getting, you know, a really high grade on the test, I can't wait to see how they're gonna react to him and Kei dating, especially Aili. I feel like that incident will change these characters, help them develop in some way, because Yukimura was already mad at him for hiding his abilities, but now they're gonna find out that Ayane Koji is even hiding things within his personal life from his closest friends. Next 3 characters are from the Shinohara group. Sato is the one that's gotten the most like screen time out of the 3, and that's because of her love for Ayane Koji. She went from liking him, getting rejected by him, still liking him, and eventually finding out that he's dating Kei. And I can see her character developing a lot too. She's gotten a decent amount of screen time. She's, you know, a pretty cute girl, kind of a fierce girl. But I put her in B tier for now. Probably in like the middle of B tier. The next is Shinohara, which I personally think is like the least interesting character from the Shinohara group, even though the group is named after her. She's just like the really annoying girl that likes to kind of go against everything. Kind of like Kei if she wasn't, you know, Yeah, but we really haven't seen too much of her yet, and she has affected the story in a decent amount, so I'll put her in C tier. That's basically the perfect definition of C tier for me. You're a side character that's appeared in the story a few times. Like, you've affected the story, but you haven't really done too much, and the story can definitely go on without you. The next is Matsushita, who I personally think has the most potential out of the three. We found out that Matsushita has actually been hiding her abilities as well, and because of that, she can also sense that Aona Koji is doing the same thing. And we haven't really seen too much of her abilities, but she can definitely be a big help to Class D and the climb to Class A. She definitely has a lot of potential at the moment, and I do like her a decent amount as a character because she's pretty interesting and she's pretty unique, and she obviously has a lot of potential. So I'll put her in B tier as well. Next is Mi-chan. Mi-chan is the only Chinese character from this anime, I think, and I was really surprised when I found out that she's Chinese because I'm Chinese as well. But it's kind of weird how she's a Chinese student at a Japanese school and her strongest subject is English. Mi-chan is a really underrated character in my eyes, like with her abilities, at least academic-wise, because with her abilities, she shouldn't really be in D class, so that means she can be a great help for them to make a push to Class A. And I do like her a decent amount as a character as well. She's pretty cute, you know, her personality wise, look wise, everything like that. And she can definitely get a lot more screen time within the next few what do you even call them again? Volumes. What the fuck is happening to me? But yeah, Mi-chan could definitely become an even better character, but in my eyes, she's already a pretty great side character so far, so I'll put her in B tier. Oh, the next character is Konji. Now, Konji, I'ma just put him in S tier just because I want to know him. I want to find out so much more about him as a character, his abilities, and just why he's in the situation that he's currently in. Kind of like Aona Koji and kind of like Matsushita. Konji, his abilities are like, yeah. He doesn't really give a fuck about anything, so he hasn't really shown it off much in the story besides the recent second island survival exam. Like, we already know that he's very good at everything, but he doesn't really give a fuck. He basically says like he wants to enjoy school and just not really be bothered by anything. But I can see Konji's character reaching a breaking point where he actually starts caring about something or just fucking goes crazy from some incident. But yeah, I can definitely see a future arc being dedicated to Konji, and I'm really excited. Next character is Horikita. Now, Horikita, I'll put her in A tier for now. Like, she's gonna be at the top of A tier. Horikita is a really interesting character because she had her time to shine, but there were also certain, like, you know, parts of the story where she doesn't really show up too much. But she does do a lot in every single exam. I actually don't know if I should put her on A tier or S tier, but I think the top of A tier is a pretty safe spot for her right now. Horikita has like developed a lot as a character, especially the conversation she had with her Oni-chan before, you know, he had to leave the school and everything. She went from being a dependent person that didn't really care about the rest of the members of her class and kind of just did everything her way and just ignore everyone else. And now she's the leader of Class D. Like, that's a pretty big development. She went from being really immature to, I wouldn't say she's definitely mature, but she's definitely can't be considered as like a mature person yet, but she has made a lot of like really important decisions. And yeah, Horikita is a really interesting character. She was my like second best girl when I watched the anime, but she's not even my top 3 anymore. She does have a lot of like, you know, pretty cute moments though, especially that moment where, yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, Horikita, definitely an interesting character, and probably by the end of the story, she's definitely gonna be S tier. Next character is Ichinose, and I just realized I forgot to mention something at the beginning of this video, so let me just say it right now. This list is gonna be a mix of how good the characters are and how much I like them. So that means if a character is supposed to be an A tier, I can boost them up to be S tier just because I like them a lot. Yeah, Ichinose is S tier for me. Now, Ichinose is a really interesting character. She's basically a dere that's really nice to everyone, that's really thoughtful, but she also has like a really I wouldn't say different, but she's a lot sharper than she looks. Like, I was really shocked when she basically read through Aona Koji's strategy when it comes to the Zodiac exam. Like that was pretty fucking impressive. And she's overall just a pretty cute girl. I would say she's my second best girl when it comes to at least the light novel. She's obviously also a top tier character, and spoilers again, I'm gonna just say anytime I spoil anything major. But after getting rejected by Kiyotaka, her character can definitely develop even more, and just like Konji, she might have a turning point on her character. And like, I kind of felt bad, even though she isn't my best girl, I still felt bad because Ichinose is a pretty cute girl. She is a pretty cute girl. Next character is her right hand man. I don't really know. I forgot what his name is. What is his name again? Let me search it up. Oh, Kanzaki. Yeah, he was introduced in the anime as well. But, you know, he's Ichinose's right hand man. He does a lot of things behind the scenes when Ichinose doesn't ask him to, but just out of like, you know, his love for Class B and just how much he cares about everyone from Class B. Kanzaki is definitely an interesting character. He's done a few weird things. I remember the meeting he had with Yuan, and that one guy from class A in the bathroom. Or was it named Hashimoto? Something like that. I'll put him at the top of B tier for now. I might change him, to A tier later in the video, but B tier for now. Next tier is Ryuan. Although I fucking hate him, he's going S tier. Ryuan might go into the list of one of my most disliked characters when it comes to any type of anime. But he's also a really good character, I can't deny that. Like, his way of problem solving, his way of thinking, and the way he just does everything is pretty fucking fucked up because he even disrespects his own classmates sometimes. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Ibuki got slapped more than a dozen times in the light novel. Yeah, it was really interesting to see him kind of fall off and eventually climb like all the way back up again after, his loss to Kiyotaka. And like I said before, I fucking hate him, but he's just a really good character. He's really dislikable. He's really fucking dislikable. Next is Ibuki. Ibuki, A tier. Yeah, A tier. Right next to her rival, Horihita. Haha. Yeah, Ibuki's always been a pretty interesting character, and she was honestly even a love interest at one point. Just with the amount of like encounters she had with Kiyotaka and the kind of dates they went on were pretty interesting. Ibuki's a pretty interesting, pretty cute girl, but also kind of a fucking bitch at the same time. Next is Ishizaki. Now, Ishizaki is kind of confusing to me. It feels like his character has changed several times throughout the story. Like the beginning of the story where Class C kind of framed Sudo for beating him and like two of the other members up. And then he kind of overtook Class B after Ryuan fell off. Then now he's just like a overly friendly, kind of a dumbass guy. Next is Albert. A tier. I don't think anyone that likes Class of the League can say that they dislike Albert as a character. Next is Sheena. Now, Sheena is A tier for me, and I would say she's my third favorite waifu. Sheena appeared in the story when Ryuan had like people look over Class D to see like, to find out who X was. And like she had an encounter with Koji. Koji kind of like held his guard up at first because, she's a member from a different class that's trying to find out more information about his class. But after a few more encounters with her, he kind of just found out that she's a pretty nice girl that's in the books. And I feel like that's a really interesting thing because she's kind of like Ichino-cell, where on the outside she looks like a dada, she's always nice to everyone, always happy. But she's actually a lot more sharper than that. Overall, she's a pretty cute girl, she's a pretty nice girl, and she was definitely a love interest at one point for Koji too. Now, I've been talking about the waifus on this anime for a pretty long time now, but yeah, the top waifu hasn't really shown up yet until right now. Karuizawa Kei. I fucking love this girl. Kei might honestly be my favorite female character from any anime, manga, light novel, or just any fucking like TV show related thing I've ever seen in the past. Obviously, not gonna talk too much about it in this video, but she's just such a good character. Like, finding out her backstory, finding out that she's not actually dating Hirata, finding out that she's basically a parasite, trying to find like a person to, protect her. Like, seeing her move behind the scene with Koji, her finding it very exciting, and her eventually gaining interest in him as a person. Fucking love that shit. And the progression that she's made is very fucking admirable in my eyes. Like, she went from a girl that was fucking bullied throughout every single year of middle school, and eventually found a different place to hide herself and found someone to protect her, and had people bully her again, like bringing back her past, and found someone new to protect her. Like, for the first half of the story, she was just trying to save herself. She didn't really give a fuck about anyone else. She just wanted to keep herself safe. But throughout more and more of the story, she gained a lot of trust within Kiyotaka, and he eventually became a person that was more important than her past. Like, that's so fucking cool in my eyes. Because the only thing that Kei has been doing at this school was to keep her past as a secret. She doesn't want anyone else to find out about it, and now she found a person that's more important than that to her. That's pretty cute. That's fucking cute. Yeah, Kei's definitely my best girl from this novel, and honestly, probably my favorite character as well. Oh, the next person is Katsurak. Katsurak was at one point the leader of Class A, but he got pushed down, like all the incidents because of Sakuranagi. So he's kind of like Ryuan at some points. He was at one point at the top of his class, then, went all the way down to the bottom, and had a few losses. I'm talking about, his buddy right here. I'm just putting him a B tier for now. And yeah, the incident where he tried to ship a gift to his sister, that was pretty sweet too. Like, that was pretty wholesome. That was pretty wholesome. Next is Sakuranagi. Sakuranagi, S tier. Sakuranagi is somehow the most interesting and also the least interesting leaders from the first years. I don't really know how to explain it, but that's just how I feel about her. And that's actually because we know a decent amount of things about her, but she's also kind of unknown at the same time. Like, she's had a few talks with Kiyotaka where, they talked about the past, the white room, and, how she really admires him as a person. But yeah, Sakuranagi is the definition of moving behind the scene because she can't really do anything on her own, like with her disabilities and everything like that. So, she has a right-hand woman, man, right? What do you even call her? She has like Kamoto, just does a lot of things behind the scenes because she can't really do them herself. But yeah, she's a pretty good leader for Class A, and definitely an interesting character. And I want to see she's gonna have more. She's gonna have even more scenes in the next volumes. Next is Hashimoto. Hashimoto, I don't really know how I feel about him as a character. Like, he's pretty annoying, but he's supposed to be annoying, but he's also really interesting at the same time. So I'll put him next to his buddy eventually. Kaicho. What's his name again? Manabu is honestly in the same tier as Konji for me. Like, we kind of do have a good understanding on their abilities to do things, but I just want to know him more as a person. Like Hiyotaka said within the last conversation, he wants to know this guy more, he wants to talk to him more, but unfortunately, they don't have enough time to talk anymore. I want to know this guy more as a character. I know I've always said that, but he's just so fucking interesting. The few conversations that he's had with Kiyotaka and Horikita at the end were pretty fucking deep and pretty fucking good. Next is his girlfriend, Tachibana. They're not really dating, but Tachibana. Tachibana is a pretty cute girl. She's the secretary of the student council, I'm pretty sure. Knowing the extent of the relationship and just how much they're willing to give up for each other was pretty interesting. I'll put her at the somewhere close to the top of B2. Character is Kushida. Now, Kushida was one of the first interesting characters from this novel. I think just from the first 3 episodes, we were able to find out that Kushida is kind of like two-faced, and she's kind of a bitch and just fucking hates everyone and everything and just wants to do everything her own way. In my eyes, Kushida, like her second side, is how Kei would have become if she wasn't like as strong as she is. Her existence within this novel has kind of started dying down like within every single volume of it. She starts getting less and less scenes. But I'll put her in class A because I can definitely see her character like climbing up to the top again. And she did have like a point where she was a really fucking where she was a top tier character. Next is the new Kaicho, A tier. I don't really know what I'm supposed to say about him. He's a pretty interesting character. He's kind of like the new antagonist of this novel. So I'll put him A tier. His girlfriend, B2. Not what to say. The vice president. Yeah. Oh, my favorite Kohai, Nanase. Now, Nanase is a very interesting character and also a very cute girl. I mean, she's kind of similar to Ichinose, but not really at the same time. Like, on the outside, she's a really respectful Kohai, and she is a really respectful Kohai, but there's a different side of her where when she wants to accomplish something, when she wants to do something, the sweet side of her will disappear and you won't even realize. So like on the outside, she looks like this, sweet little girl, really polite girl, but she might have been planning to kill you this whole fucking time. But I really do like Nanase as a character. She's only been in the story for like 2 volumes, I think. But just within those 2 volumes, her character has changed a lot. She went from wanting to get rid of Kiyotaka to basically becoming one of his pawns. Like, he didn't even choose for her to become one of his pawns. She just wanted to. She wants to be with this dude. Like, she wants to be able to do anything to protect Kiyotaka, which is pretty admirable in my eyes. He kind of reminds me of that, like, one Kohai that fucking loves you and just won't leave you alone and just wants to, make sure that you're happy all the time. And, like, the backstory of her and, her friend from the White Realm, pretty interesting. And, that's kind of why she wanted to get rid of Kiyotaka. But after having that fight with Kiyotaka, she found him to be a really good person, I guess, and just she fucking loves him now. Not like that. I don't think she loves him like that, but she fucking loves him. Next character is Hosen. Now I fucking hate this dude. Hosen, I'll put him in the middle of B tier for now. He's a really annoying dude. He like talks out of his ass most of the time, and he's pretty strong though. I can admit that. He was meant to be annoying, and I think we're gonna see him like get defeated in the Island Survival arc, the saga one. I don't really remember what happened. I don't remember too much of what happened in that one, but I'm gonna reread it soon. My second favorite Kohai, Amasawa. So Amasawa is most likely the White Room student that was sent to get rid of Kiyotaka, but what they didn't realize was that she actually idolizes Kiyotaka, so like, her plan was fucking ruined basically. I'll put an A tier next to Nanase at the moment. Like, I do like both of these characters a lot, and they're both like potential candidates for S tiers, but we just haven't really seen enough of them yet to put them that high, you know what I mean? Next is Chaba Sensei. I think that's what her name is, but Chaba Sensei, let me just say her name. Chaba Sensei. I just can't fucking say it properly, I guess. But yeah, she's an A tier character for me, and she's just really interesting. Next is Sudo. Sudo is also A tier for me. Now, honestly, Sudo is kind of really annoying in many fucking ways to me. Yeah, he probably has had the most like development when it comes to his abilities for schoolwork, all of that, like his personality, just how mature he is. But he still gets mad at everything, and that's really fucking annoying. But yeah, Sudo has had a lot of development. I think I forgot what scene it was, but it was the last. No, what was it? It was after Kiyotaka got 100 on the math test, and he actually defended Kiyotaka in class, and they saw each other like the day after school and had like a talk with each other, and they just show like mutual respect. Next is Hoshinomiya Sensei, and remember what I said before when I said this is a tier list of like, you know, a combination of how good the characters are and how much I like them. That whole poll was sort of meant for Hoshinomiya Sensei. She's an A tier character for me. Now Hoshinomiya Sensei reminds me of like those side characters that really pop up in anime, but anytime they do, it's a really good scene. She's had a few conversations with Kiyotaka, and you know, she's a really cute person. Yeah, she's a really cute person. She's a cute girl, and I think Kiyotaka said something along the lines of Hoshinomiya Sensei is a, like, you know, is a student that hasn't really grown up yet, which does make a lot of sense. Next is Ike, who I think is probably the least important character out of the, you know, the small friend group. I'll put him at the bottom of B tier, I guess. There's only been a few incidents where Ike's character was actually like kind of important part of the story, and the first one was during the island survival exam, because like he used to go camping along with his family or something, so he was kind of like experienced when it comes to camping. And also his relationship with what's her name? Give me a second. Shinohara, like his relationship with Shinohara has been quite interesting, and I really want to see how like they're gonna end up. Oh yeah, no, they're dating now, I think. Yeah, they're dating. But I want to see how that's going to affect Class D, because this relationship is like already pretty surprising to a lot of people. But what they don't know is that there's another really surprising relationship that's going to shock the fuck out of the whole class. The next character is Yamaji. Insert Sakura Miko Club.
Fuck you!
Yamaji is honestly just a pretty dislikable character. When like, you know, the rumors were going on with Class D with like Shinohara being a prostitute, like he kind of made like that's something you don't make fun of, even if you don't like the girl, even if you dislike the girl. And that kind of just shows that he's a dumbass and he just doesn't really know how to deal with anything. And also the incident where he betrayed Class D until they get like Kiyotaka expelled, and you know the way he acted throughout the whole situation, he was like he was trying to save his own ass over everyone else. And if we're being honest, Yamachi was probably like a B tier character with like how much he's, you know, affected the story, all of those type of things. But I just dislike him way too much to put him anywhere higher than D tier. But next is the ex-leader of Class D, Hirata. Now Hirata at first was just a very straightforward character. He's a nice person that really cares about everyone, kind of like an Ichino set of Class D. And we gotta see, you know, Hirata's downfall, where he kind of fucking freaks out after Yamachi got expelled from Class D. Well, it wasn't even because Yamachi got expelled, it was just that someone from Class D had to get expelled. So then we were able to see this really strong, positive, you know, guy breaking down and just completely disappears from the story and stops caring about anything. I feel like that's the fucking cool thing about Classroom Delete. They give you a really straightforward character, but they end up changing it up and, like, you know, adding a plot twist to it, and ends up making them interesting. Hirata is somewhere in the middle of A tier for me. Like, he's a really interesting character, and quick question, like, is he gay for Kiyotaka now? I'll talk about the part where he was like, hey, can I call you Kiyotaka or something like that, and it was kind of weird, a little bit. And the final character is Keo Lane, and Keo Lane, is that how you say it? I don't really know how to say her name. But yeah, Keo Lane is one of Kiyotaka's senpais, and she's a really interesting character. It seems like she's really disliked by a lot of people in her grades, especially the vice president for the student council, I forgot his name. But she's actually a really cool person, really strong person. Like, if you just look at her stats and everything, she's really fucking strong. And I do like her as a character, especially after she helped out Kiyotaka on the island survival exam. But yeah, she's an A tier character for me. She's definitely going to show up in the story a lot more in the future too, and I'm definitely excited to see what she can do. But yeah, that's my tier list for all of the characters from Classroom Delete. Tell me how you feel about this list, but just don't fucking kill me if you disagree with me, please. This would actually take me like an hour to record. I don't know how the fuck. Like, I always tend to spend too much fucking time on tier lists, but yeah, it was pretty fun though. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and maybe subscribe. You don't have to do any of that, you know, quite to do any of that, but if you'd like to be nice to me, you can obviously do all of the things I just named. And like I said before, I'm most likely gonna make a video about the light novel for Classroom of the, what the fuck am I saying? Yeah, I'm most likely gonna make a video about the light novel of Classroom of the Elite. So yeah, if you're excited for that, I don't know what I'm saying. But that's all you're getting from me today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully we'll see each other again. And yeah, have a nice day.